Good morning, everyone. Do apologize for the little delay. It's the weather, but we're good to go. It's good to see all of you here today. I was talking to some of the coaches earlier. It's like we're becoming our own little family 4 times a year. So appreciate you guys making time and coming and joining us for our second SHAC meeting of this school year. I know we have parents showing up, so I appreciate you showing up, making time. We do have, like always, guys, a great agenda for you guys. We do look at our QR codes. You know, what you when you answer those questions at the beginning of every SHAC meeting of interest that it might interest you for the next SHAC meeting. So we try to put out a great agenda for you all with great information that would, hopefully you'd take back and, share with your family members and friends as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Like always, welcome to our first SHAC meeting. Our core values, I think after this year, by our last SHAC meeting, all of you are going to be like, have the core values down, because we go over them every time we're here. So, of course, we are committed to student success, a shared responsibility among students, parents, educators, and school board and the community. We are learner-centered by ensuring that all students receive quality teaching and engage in instruction. Innovative in using global thinking and technology to empower students to become lifelong learners. Nurturing by creating an educational environment where all students are socially and emotionally supported, safe, and valued. And of course, transparent through open communication, leadership, accountability, and integrity. Okay? This is our agenda for today. We're going to ask you guys to complete the QR survey, answer some questions for us. We have several presenters this morning. We have Ms. Amanda Rueda sharing some information on fitness. We have Ms. Dominguez, one of our AU strategists, who will be presenting some information on what is autism. We have Ms. Valdez with some great news, and congratulations, Ms. Dalia, and we'll talk about it when you get there, about Project Adam. And then we have just some updates and reminders on CMP, Child Nutrition Program updates. And of course, we have Ms. She's here, right? Yeah, Ms. Lucero with some information that's coming up soon on artificial intelligence. And of course, towards the end, like always, we have any questions that we can answer, we'll answer them. If not, we'll get with our leadership team, and then we'll reach back to you on that. And then, of course, always as a reminder, our next SHAC meeting will take place January 21st here in the boardroom at the same time at 9 o'clock. Okay? So if you guys would just scan their QR code, please scan it. Take a few minutes. We'll give you about 2 minutes to answer the family survey for us. All right. Thank you guys for completing that QR code. Ms. Reda will compile all your questions or suggestions or concerns, and we'll be reviewing them through the SHAC meeting this morning. All right. So quickly, I'm part of this fabulous SHAC team. This is our members. Of course, Rigo Hernandez, the Assistant Director of Special Ed. Some of our team members are not able to join us today because there's a lot of stuff going on. Of course, before Thanksgiving break, they have the luncheons at the campuses, so they're helping. But we do have a couple of members here today with us. Mr. Swanson, he's not here, our projected director of ACE. We have Ms. Marcus, our family engagement specialist. She's joining us this morning. Ms. Deborah Luevanos, our public relations manager. She was not able to join us this morning. Ms. Castro, our secondary curriculum and instruction and clerk. She is present today. We have Ms. Reda, our assistant director of data and accountability. She's also joining us. Ms. Crystal Fuentes, our district testing coordinator. She was not able to join us. Mr. Villalobos, director of CMP, and Mr. Sergio Chaides, child nutrition program finance director. They were both not able to join us because they're at campuses making sure that those lunches are going, well. We have Ms. Valdez, our lead Clean ISD head nurse. She's joining us this morning. We have Ms. Lucero, our chief technology officer, joining us this morning as well. We have Ms. Maciel, our spec coordinator. She's joining us. She's doing our translation. And then we have Ms. Jaylene Shao, public relations secretary, right here, taking pictures. And then Ms. Valerie Martinez, benefits coordinator. She was also not able to join us this morning. Those are all the majors that compose our SHAC team. So quickly, an overview, as always. What is SHAC? Well, it's a school health advisory council that helps parents and the community have a voice on issues that impact your child's health. Okay, so whether it's about school meals, staff, wellness, vaping, recess, or bullying, this is the time to express those concerns. Share with us any concerns, any comments that your children have shared throughout the school year, and then of course we get with the district leadership team to see how we can solve those solutions or issues or concerns. SHAC meeting requirements. There is a requirement where we must have 4 meetings throughout the school year. As you were present in the first one earlier in the year, this is our second SHAC meeting. Within those requirements, there are 3 more requirements. We have to, create some flyers, which our team did a great job. We send them out to campuses. They post them in the front so they're visible for parents. We record, send out calls 72 hours before to parents, letting them know that the SHAC meeting is happening. And then, of course, we record a meeting and have audio and video and take minutes of the meetings, which we are currently doing right now. Okay? And of course, once the meeting's over, Mr. Will helps us and he uploads this information. It has 10 days to upload the recording, the minutes, and the audio up to our website. This is our SHAC website. If you ever, I know last time we also had some great presenters, great information. If you want to share with parents, it's there. Log into our website, go to SHAC. You can access any of our recording, any of our meetings and minutes. So we're going to get started with our first presenter. We're going to have Ms. Reda.
Good morning, everyone. Are you guys ready for break? 2 more days, right? I am too. I keep counting in the morning. So I'm going to go over some FitnessGram. I am going to send this email out to coaches. You're here. Some of you are here that do it. I'll be sending it out when we come back from break. It's not even due till the end of May, like the beginning of May, sorry. And so this is just some brief information. Sorry, I was thinking that the screens were going to change over there, but they don't. They don't right now. It's recording. Okay, so FitnessGram, it's a state law, and it's a requirement from the state that we give these kids a fitness assessment. You guys probably know more of it than I do. I just make sure that it's submitted in. We gather the data every year. These are the requirements that we have, but remember it's flexible based on of your campus and the needs of the students. The assessment window will start in starting January 12th, and it'll end in May 1st, okay? So that's the assessment window, all that time. If we need to adjust it, do we need to adjust it, or?
Well, I had a question because, I do semester classes.
Okay.
So my first semester kiddos, they're done by December.
Okay.
Their birthdays have already passed. So now the requirements as far as meeting the healthy standards
Mm-hmm.
It's changed based off of age.
Okay.
So by the time I go to enter it, they may not qualify for the healthy standard anymore. But when they did it based off of their age, they did meet the healthy standard.
Okay, so we have it open now. Does anyone else have semester? Does everyone have it at the campus? Yeah?
There's a lot of semesters.
Okay, so would you
Yeah.
guys want to start it now? Yeah?
Yes.
That would be great for you guys?
Yes.
We can do that. The system's ready. I just didn't want to stress you guys out, and I didn't realize that that was it. I'm not a PE person. I just,
I know.
I deal with data and accountability, T-tests, all this stuff, HB 1416, all that's who I deal with. So if you guys tell me a good suggestion, I'll open it up for you guys. That's not a
Okay.
biggie. We can open it up now.
That would be
so you
great.
guys can start now. That's
Yes.
okay. Would you guys be okay? I know that you guys are the voice of just a small percentage compared to everyone else. Would you okay if I send the email soon?
Oh, yeah.
Like before we go on break, and then just so you guys have access when we come back? Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So then I'll go ahead and do that. The kids are in there. Technology already did the kids and everything. The passwords are ready. It's ready to go. I just haven't given it to you guys because I didn't want to. But if we need to, we can do it.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
That's a good suggestion. Thank you. Again, if you guys need help or questions, I'm here. I will go ahead and work on that. You guys will be getting an email possibly tomorrow, so I can see and give you guys everything that you need, the codes, okay? And anything else you guys need from me? No? No? We're good? Yeah? All right. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Reda. All right, guys. So next we have Ms. Ida Dominguez. She's one of our AU strategists who works with students with autism across the district. We currently have 2 AU strategists. Ms. Dr. Celeste Ornelas was not able to join us this morning, but we have Ms. Dominguez. She's going to be sharing pretty much, information on autism and how we support our students with autism here throughout the district. Okay? So, Ms. Dominguez.
Good morning. Please excuse my voice, I'm getting sick. So yes, we do have about, last time I checked, 226 students. We do have a lot of initials now in autism, but about 226 students we're serving with our AU babies at the district, okay. Just 2 of us. We do provide consultation, direct services with them. So it's just the 2 of us. Dr. Nellis was not able to join us, but I'm going to go ahead and show a little overview video. I'm sure some of you have already seen this, but it's a really nice video that explains autism for us.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, autism affects an estimated 1 in 54 children in the United States. You've probably heard a lot of thoughts and ideas about autism, but here's an overview of what we know. Autism, autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects a person's social and communication abilities. Persons with ASD also have areas of strong interest and sometimes have repetitive behavior and sensory sensitivities. Autism is sometimes associated with strengths in the areas of visual memory, music, art, math, and science, but each person with ASD is unique. Autism is a spectrum disorder and varies significantly from person to person. Some people with ASD may require significant support in their daily lives, while others may need less support, and some live entirely independently. Changes in brain development associated with autism begin during the prenatal period. These changes are associated with differences in genetics. It is possible to diagnose ASD when a child is between 18 and 24 months of age. Early behavioral intervention helps children with autism learn to communicate and socially interact and has a significant impact on long-term outcome. Support for learning social and communication skills can be helpful throughout adolescence and adulthood. People with autism sometimes have other conditions, such as higher rates of sleep disorders, ADHD, anxiety, depression, and gastrointestinal issues. Treating these co-occurring conditions can make a big difference. As adults, people on the autism spectrum can become employed and contribute in important ways to society. The world is a better place if the qualities of people who are neurodiverse are accepted and valued. The Duke Center for Autism and Brain Development provides state-of-the-art, interdisciplinary clinical care, conducts cutting-edge research, trains the next generation of scientists, and advocates for public policies to help ensure people with autism reach their full potential.
Okay, so some of the characteristics that was described in that video are that a lot of our autistic students tend to interpret others' words literally. They have difficulty forming and maintaining relationships. That's a big one. Like, we struggle with that in the high school. We get a lot of, like, we don't have friends, we don't have anyone to hang around at lunch. I know a lot of you support us there at school and trying to get them to do groups, or we appreciate that help because, yes, they feel very excluded. They may speak bluntly without realizing the impact on others. They may show facial expressions and gestures that are inappropriate for the situation. They show a limited imagination. They have difficulty starting, responding to, or keeping a conversation going. And sometimes that might look like they're rude kids. You know, they're just being rude, but it's just that they don't have that skill. They may use unusual voice inflection or rhythm. They may overgeneralize social behaviors across different settings and have difficulty understanding or considering others' perspectives. They just think of me, and that's it, you know, and so they have a hard time relating to what other people feel. Some of the common behaviors, and I know a lot of you reach out about those behaviors, and and I look at the PE group because a lot of it, since it's structured but in a different way than in the classroom, you sometimes see a lot of these behaviors coming out. And I was just at one of the campus, and they reached out because some of our, and they were the little babies, they weren't doing what the other 4 or 5 classes were doing, and it gets kind of challenging for you all there. So what we recommend is that usually you include them as much as you can, and of course you have to keep your focus of the rest, but have an area, kind of a designated area where they could go ahead and have some items like balls or hula hoops, or I don't know, any extra stuff that they might want to use to be active. So, and introduce the activity they're doing for the day, and then have them be able to have that opportunity to go over there. And I think that's been working for one of the campuses that I recommended that. They have like those bouncy balls for the little ones and stuff like that. And for the older kids, I know at a junior high, we have a kiddo that didn't want to do what the others were doing, but they give him the alternative to go up the stairs, up and down or something, and so he was doing that. So it's just kind of getting a little creative with them and giving them that. So some of the behaviors you might see are pacing, blurting out, questioning, challenging, inattentive, escape behaviors, defensive, blunt, hitting, taking off shoes. Those are a big thing, shoes, even in the high school. I have some teachers call me, what do I do about this kid? He wears Crocs without socks all day, you know? And it's like, it's really hard because it's sensory. It's just those reminders with them. Come on, we need to put on your shoes and kind of, but especially in the high school. In the little ones, I've even had to recommend, I've brought like Crocs because they take off their own shoes, and so they have to wear some kind of shoe. So we'll give them an alternative shoe to wear, and we're gonna negotiate like that with them so that they're able to wear shoes. Can't relate to peers, dominates conversations. Those are a lot of our higher kiddos are those that are dominating those conversations, and they always wanna be in charge of the conversation in classes or questions. Throwing items, crying, screaming, head banging, biting, yelling, and noncompliance. Are you familiar with some of these behaviors? Yeah. So autism, as defined by IDEA, is a developmental disability that significantly affects verbal and nonverbal communication and social interaction. It is often associated with repetitive behaviors, resistance to change in routines or environments, and unusual reactions to sensory input. These characteristics usually appear before age 3, but a child shows them later may still be identified with autism. So we get this question a lot. They tell us, well, he has autism, but he's not in our caseload. And we're like, well, what do you mean he has autism? Yeah, the parents said he has autism. So he's medically diagnosed, but he's still not diagnosed at school, right? So we have to, and if we start seeing that they are having a difficult time at school and that they need those supports, then that's when we recommend the referral to get diagnosed for autism at school. But not necessarily just because they have it medically it doesn't mean that they immediately get it here. We've had situations where we've had high school students, almost seniors, that, yeah, we've had like a senior that was diagnosed as a senior. We're like, well, why did they diagnose him so late? Because he was able to like maintain, but it was like the last semester of his senior year that he was having trouble. And it was more of the transition because he was starting to want to transition out. So we did provide that diagnosis just to provide that support for when he would go to college and all that. He was going to go to a 2-year program or something. So he did diagnose because they were like, why are they diagnosing him so late and this? But at that point, he was able to manage to go through everything, and at the end of the day, he needed that support. How students are supported at school? So this is where we come in place when they get the diagnosis. We support each 9 weeks, focusing on areas such as improving and developing peer relationships, coping strategies, organizational skills, and self-advocacy. So a lot of our sessions are, sometimes I do groups, sometimes I pull out, sometimes I do a lot of observations while they're doing it, and I'll go in there while they're doing some activity, and right then in the moment. It doesn't seem like a service, but it is because we're giving those cues to them. So a lot of the times I do whole group, like class, and some of the other students are not AU, but they serve as peer models for the activities. So we work with teachers by providing training in areas such as understanding autism. Usually we have a support request form for autism, and usually it's the strategies. They're like, we tried this, it didn't work. Remember, it's not gonna work for everyone, and it might not work the first time, but it could work later. So, and supporting the students and managing behavior. A lot of it is behavior, so modeling how to use a strategy with them, because they try the strategy, but they're not quite implementing it correctly for them. They have so many other kids, so going in there and modeling to them, this is how we do it, and those kind of things. Once a student is coded as a student with autism by the school psychologist, the autism strategies will complete the autism supplement portion of the IEP. So they tell me, why don't you diagnose? I do not diagnose, okay? The strategies are just here for strategies. We provide those strategies to teachers for part of the instruction and the socialization and some of the communication. We work closely with a speech therapist so that they could able to communicate better, because a lot of it is the communication needs that they need. Texas regulations require that 11 specific strategies be considered and addressed as useful and as needed in the individualized education program. So we have 11 strategies. We do list them, but we don't always focus on all of them because some of the students don't need them all, okay? I'm gonna start with the first one. That one's extended educational programming, and that's pretty much after a long break, they come back and they've lost some of the skills. A lot of people do confuse sometimes. After a long break in the summer, they come in and it takes them about 2 weeks to get into the rhythm of things and think, oh, he's regressed. Not necessarily. They're getting used to their new schedule. So we just need to, I recommend a little bit more time to see if they have really lost those skills or not. The second one is a daily schedule. Some of our students function well with individual schedule for them, or they could function well with just a schedule given to them at the beginning of the semester for the whole class, or even just the one in the classroom. So it really depends. Some of them need a visual schedule with pictures or photos, and some of them also use object schedules. Our baby little ones, they need that object. They need to get the object they're gonna use to go to the next activity that they're doing. That's how they define their day. For the third area, in-home and community-based training are viable alternatives. This is where we help parents. They've learned to be, for example, they're potty trained at school, they're doing well going to the restroom, but then at home they're not able to do it. So they're not generalizing that at home. So this is where we go in and model what is the teacher using in class so that he could model it at home. So he could learn it at home. But some of the viable alternatives we do is those common things that you always do, those visits to parent-teacher conferences, that teacher communication, the spent nights we have, or trainings, and the community resources we have. If they don't have the in-home training, we do tell parents to go ahead and reach out to us, and we still do trainings for them. Because sometimes they don't need like a set in-home, but maybe they just need a one-time, explain this visual for me, how does this work, and then we go and help them. For the fourth area, it's positive behavior support strategies. And that's a big one that we've been focusing a lot because a lot of the behaviors are really high, right? A lot of the other examples we do use is those visual supports, the redirection, the prompting, the immediate reinforcers, the peer-teacher modeling. Supervision during transition activities. Transition is a hard one for our babies, so that's one of the biggest ones that we struggle with. Provide support for unexpected irregular changes in the routines, social stories, clearly defined limits, provide discussion about behavior, reminders to stay on task, processing time, and self-regulation strategies. We use this with all students, but I think with our AU students, it's a little bit, we have to be a little bit more consistent and a lot more positive. We hear a lot of people say they hear no or don't, and we immediately lose this child, or we trigger the child with those words. So it's just getting to know our kiddos of who is going to accept the word no and who's not. And a lot of our AU students will not accept no. They don't like the word no, don't, stop. Those are common words that are triggers for them. The fifth area is future planning. So we do have 2 transition facilitators to support students in this area. And we do provide a long list of community resources for parents to reach out, like Emergence. I'll list them at the end of the presentation, but Emergence is a big one where they get on the waiting list to get support after high school. So we always remind parents, are you on the waiting list? Please call every year on their birthday to see where they're at, or just to make sure that they're still listed on there. And some parents are hesitant because they're like, I don't think they're gonna use it. And some parents, part of the diagnosis, having the autism diagnosis, it's in denial process. In denial sometimes of parents, it's a hard diagnosis. So sometimes they're in denial and they don't move on with it. And then later on, 2-3 years later, they get on the list, so they waste time. So we encourage that they do it as soon as possible. And as soon as we give the sooner we give those supports, the sooner they make those progress. For parent family training and support, we do have a Facebook and autism parent group where we list the trainings or any community activities we find out, we put them on there. And also Autism Remind, we do I do the Autism Remind, and then I also text my parents because sometimes they don't have access to the Remind, but we'll send invites to them to come to our meetings. And this is how we share all the information for the district. The suitable staff to student ratio, we just discussed with teachers. They tell us, you know what, he's a 1-to-1 baby, or he's I could be working with a group of 3. So we see what ratio they need to be successful in the classroom. This is where we find out, okay, he's a higher needs. Is he in the right placement? Also, are the behaviors showing us that they need a smaller size classroom or more support? Communication interventions. This one, we work closely with a speech therapist to provide visuals to help the students work on receptive and expressive language skills to communicate with others. I think this is one of our biggest ones. I've seen a lot of change. I've seen my babies pre-K kinder having a lot of behaviors, but then I see them in 2nd grade and they're already expressing more. So a lot of those behaviors are less because they're able to express what they want. Social skill supports and strategies. So this is the big one where we kick in and help as strategists. We provide strategies, social stories, visuals, support. We model behavior, how to, when they're upset, or how to de-escalate. Sorry, I lost my word. How to de-escalate from a behavior. And they receive support services, which may consist of teacher consult, social skills practice, student check-in, observations, and or visual supports. A lot of our observations, some of you see us, well, at least you see me in the lunch area. And I try not to interact with them because I'm trying to see, but then they catch on to me and they come and talk to me. So then there we go. It turns into like a direct service. But a lot of it's that. I want to see how they're interacting with their peers. Are they alone? Okay, could we offer another peer, like a peer group or someone to help them out? So those are the observations we're doing during PE, during lunch or PE. The 10th area is professional educator staff support. So we are available to staff. They do reach out through that autism request form. And also, even if they just text or email us, we go ahead and we're there to support. I've had teachers reach out they want to meet with parent, but they want me there in the parent-teacher conference because parents are not understanding autism, or they're not understanding what their child is struggling in the classroom. So I meet with them, and we do a little parent-teacher conference with myself too. So. Teaching strategies. So the main ones we do recommend is that naturalistic intervention. I keep saying the more we have them interact with our natural environment and learning from their peers, that's what they're going to learn the best. So I'm really big on that one. I don't like to pull out my kids as much. I try to go in instead to their area to help them. But then there's some issues where they're self-regulation and stuff like that. I do have to pull them out a little bit more to kind of cue them and then go see. But also prompting, reinforcement, the redirection. Task analysis is a big one. We like to break down big tasks so that they don't get overwhelmed, because some of the behaviors are that they see they have to do so much. To us, it might seem 3 problems, but for them, it's a very big task to do, so break it down to 1. And we give those kind of recommendations. Visual supports and the social skills training. Ways to support students in the classroom. Use the visuals, classroom structure, having a schedule, support for transitions, positive reinforcement, offer forced choices. So, and I'm gonna go into detail on the forced choices. Sometimes they're showing the behaviors, they wanna have some kind of control, so that's when we're having some of those behaviors. So we use a lot of the A-B choices, 2 choices that you are giving and they get to choose, and the choice to pick it, and they're in charge, like they feel they're in control. Sometimes we have, we wanna give them everything the way we say, and if we just kinda like work a little bit with them to give them options, they start working for us. Complete a student reinforcement survey, getting to know them, know what they like, so that that's what you use to engage them and motivate them. Use think sheets to help students process their choices. A lot of the counselors provide some of those think sheets to help us, go through a situation and kind of break it down for them, so they could reflect, like as a reflection. What is evidence-based strategy? So research involving participants with autism must be published in peer-reviewed journals, and such research must come from more than 1 author. Further scientific evidence must be established separately for each age group and skill. So those are the research-based, just like we have teaching, we have also for our autism. And a lot of them are integrated the same. Evidence-based strategies that may be used in the classroom: peer modeling, exercise script, reinforcement, video modeling, teacher modeling, incidental teaching, like right in the moment, we take those teachable moments. How students are supported at home. Again, we do provide that in-home training is offered to families of students who show discrepancies in skills between school and home. This is when the autism strategist will go to the student's home to help the student and parents learn strategies to transfer skills from school to home. I've also gone to restaurants because they say they have trouble taking them out to eat somewhere. So I do go with them and prep and model how to help them prepare for a restaurant visit. I recommend parents print out the menu before and present it to them, and let's choose your food before. So be prepared so that when they go out there to the community, the child already has an idea of what they're wanting. We've done laundromat. I know some of my parents have to take them to go to the laundromat, and I've gone with them and show them, okay, look, make a little area for them here. Just little strategies for parents to make it easy, because sometimes, or even going to Walmart, I've worked with parents where I can't take my son to Walmart because he gets overwhelmed, so I'll go and we're just 5-10 minutes. Walk him in and come out. And then next time do 15 minutes. And so we do those kind of things because that's the support the parents need. They're like, I can't even go to the store. So it's just going slowly and exposing them to that. Parents are encouraged to attend training sessions and activities offered by community organizations. So these are some of the community organizations that we have. Emergence is our biggest help there, and the Children's Developing Center and Autism Society, they all provide support for us when we need them. We'll reach out to them. Do you all have any questions? That was a lot of information, right? I know you were all familiar with some of it, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Dominguez, for sharing all the areas that they support our students with throughout our district, guys. You might have some of our students diagnosed with autism in your classrooms. So Ida and Dr. Celeste are at the campus level providing services, doing observations. So at any point in time you have any questions, please feel free to approach Ms. Dominguez or Dr. Ornelas, okay? Next up, we have Ms. Valdez with some great news.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Idalia Valdez, Clinton ISD's lead nurse, and today I'll be talking about the partnership that we have with El Paso Children's Hospital with something called Project Adam. Okay, I'm going to begin by playing the video so that you can know how Project Adam came about. And then I'll talk about how we're implementing it in our district.
It was a Friday night at a gym in Grafton. Adam was playing in a away game for his high school basketball team. I was in the stands watching him play. He was very athletic. He loved his sports. During a break in the game, he just wasn't very stable with the way he was walking, and he took maybe 1 or 2 steps, and then he just collapsed. I absolutely had no clue what was happening. This couldn't be happening to him. He was just so athletic, just appeared so healthy. What we learned since then was that he could have had a chance. There's about a 2 to 3 minute window that you need to have an AED applied and a shock given. The time it took for me to say, somebody call 911. So think about that in seconds, knowing that we're trying to do this within 2 minutes. It was just too late. I can still see the monitor in front of me with the straight line coming through and the reality of what I was looking at. That night is something I wake up with, live with, go through every day with. It'll never be outside of who I am and what I see. Adam's life couldn't end at the funeral. It needed to be carried on, and there was an obvious path. We needed to create something to say somebody has a cardiac arrest within those 4 walls, whether it's a teacher, a janitor, a parent, a grandparent, or a child. There's a rehearsed process to save that person's life. So that's what launched Project Adam. I needed somebody that has the ability, but also has the heart. I look at the extra work that they do. It's not in their job description. We get all that support from some of the brightest, smartest people I've ever encountered. It's a collective way that we work together that gets to the next step and the next step and the next step. Adam's still making a difference. There was a door that was opened that I never wanted to see, but it was open. It's the cards I was dealt, and I had to make a choice. And the choice was, I can't help my son, but I can help yours.
Okay, so when Adam was 17, he suffered sudden cardiac arrest during a basketball game, and he collapsed on the court. A bystander administered CPR, but without a defibrillator, which is an AED, his heart couldn't regain its normal rhythm. The ambulance arrived within 8 minutes, but Adam needed an AED within 2 to 3 minutes to be given the best chance of survival. Over 1,000 people, members of the community, family, and friends, attended Adam's funeral. How could this happen to a child in the peak athletic condition at the prime of his high school years? In the weeks that followed, Adam's family learned more about this completely unexpected incident. That sudden cardiac arrest can strike at any time to anyone. That all it would have taken to improve his chances of survival is the right equipment, with people prepared and knowledgeable about using it. Adam always wanted to make a difference in the world, and this was their chance to keep that dream alive. So now we are blessed that El Paso Children's Hospital has become an affiliate with Project Adam, and Clint ISD and El Paso Children's Hospital have partnered to bring heart-safe schools to our campuses. This is so exciting because Clint ISD is the first district in El Paso to establish this partnership. So part of this partnership is this school year during the summer, in collaboration with El Paso Children's Hospital, Project AED 365 donated a Zoll AED to Horizon High School. This donation was placed in the hall by the gyms, if you've ever been to Horizon High School. And this gives accessibility to an AED within 3 minutes to any area on the campus. Already, Horizon High School had 2 AEDs, so this third one made that 3-minute mark possible. So what is a heart-safe school? Project Adam, its affiliate programs, which is El Paso Children's Hospital, they assist schools and communities in establishing cardiac emergency response plans to place in action in the event of sudden cardiac arrest. So program leaders provide the foundation for schools to plan and develop their program, including program templates and one-on-one consultation on how to prevent sudden cardiac death in the school setting. Project Adam's Heart Safe School designation is attained by schools upon successful implementation of a quality sudden cardiac arrest program of awareness, training, and effective emergency response to promote a heart-safe environment for students, visitors, and staff as outlined within the Heart Safe School checklist. Okay, so this is the checklist. Part of the checklist is making sure that AEDs are placed within 3 minutes to any area on the campus. So this includes the fields. We create an emergency response team. This is known as a CERT team. We establish a cardiac emergency response plan, provide training, CPR certification, and education on that plan to the members of the CERT team. And then we run cardiac emergency response drills. Okay? Going to that cardiac emergency response plan, there was new legislation that requires districts to have a cardiac emergency response plan. So what we did as a region, all the districts got together and we created a standardized cardiac emergency response plan. And we are the first city in the nation to have a standardized cardiac emergency response plan within the whole city. So that is so exciting. We will be sharing more information regarding that because there will be a national recognition for that. But yes, all the districts in El Paso have that standardized emergency, cardiac emergency response plan. And this was all collaborative with El Paso Children's Hospital, Dr. Ocarranza, the health leaders, district leaders, athletic trainers, because it does involve athletics as well. So this is a great accomplishment for our city. Okay. And so what we did is we piloted Project Adam at Ricardo Estrada Middle School. This is Clint ISD's first cardiac emergency response team. And as you can see, it involves the administrators, it involves security, it involves front office staff, custodians, athletics, coaches, nurses. It's not just the nurses that need to respond. It's a team, right? It takes a whole team to be able to give, whether it be a student, a staff, a visitor, that chance of survival. Okay, so on November 10th of this year, so just last week, Ricardo Estrada Middle School, we conducted a time drill alongside Horizon Fire Department, and that was observed by the Children's Hospital Project Adam team. We met all the criteria, and so I'm very, very proud to announce that Ricardo Estrada Middle School is the first heart-safe school in El Paso. Thank you. And Our goal is to, next will be Horizon High School. And of course, we want all of our campuses to be heart-safe schools. We did present to the board last night, letting them know of this designation at Ricardo Estrada, and they have our support. We have their support, and we're so excited to be moving forth with this. This bridges gaps, you know, that not just Clint ISD, but districts have where athletics do their thing, nurses do their thing, and so it doesn't work that way. There has to be collaboration. There has to be people prepared to take care of someone bring the AED and someone call 911 and someone handle traffic and make sure EMS knows exactly where they're going. Because if it's gonna take EMS 8 minutes to respond, it'll take them even more if there's not someone showing them exactly where they need to go. And so we wanna make sure that we don't have any sudden cardiac arrest deaths, right? We want to make sure that we're able to respond and give everyone that chance of survival. So, is there any questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much. I do want to let you know as well that I am a CPR instructor, so if you ever, want to become certified or you just want to know how to do CPR, hands-only CPR, I'm always available because I advocate for the more people know, the better we give our family, strangers, a chance of survival. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Valdez, for sharing that, and congratulations. That's awesome, guys. Ms. Valdez is always going above and beyond, guys. Ever since I met Ms. Valdez, she supported our kids on special ed, receiving services under Section 504. She networks with, El Paso Children's Hospital. She networks with a lot of doctors, ophthalmologists, audiologists. She's always going above and beyond to making sure that we are providing the services and the supports that our students need here on a daily basis. So thank you so much, Ms. Valdez, for everything you do and for sharing. Next, we have Ms. Lucero.
Good morning, everybody. All right, so I'm going to be discussing AI, artificial intelligence. As you know, it's here, and I feel like it's blown up to 1,000% at our schools. We use it, your kids use it, it's just everywhere. There's an app for that and an app for this, and I just feel like there's a lot of AI everywhere, but we haven't established guidelines within our district. So that's what I'm here to talk about today, is that we're going to be adopting the Clint ISD has adopted an AI policy as of last night. There was a lot of updates per TASB, and so it included one for AI. So I was happy to see that, because I feel like as a state, we need to establish policies, and then districts can start, implementing it. So part of it is that we do have to have a mandatory training for all employees. So we went ahead and added, I know it's another training, but on your vector solutions, you will see it already on there. I just wanted the board to pass the policy, and then once it was passed last night, I'll be sending out an email letting all employees know that this was added, and it's actually pretty good. I went through it myself, and it just shows that AI is a form of assisting, but it's not replacing us humans. So it's pretty good. If you pay attention, you'll like it. Just put it in your earbud and listen to it. It's pretty good. So what is AI? So artificial intelligence refers to computer systems capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. These tasks include recognizing patterns, understanding language, generating content, and making decisions. In education, AI tools can assist teachers, enhance learning experiences, and improve operational efficiency. So like I said, we are developing an AI guidebook for Clint ISD that we will be sharing once it's ready. So right now it's in draft, but I'm going to share a couple of things that we've been talking about. And I do want to get input from teachers as well as our instructional coordinators and everybody who has a role or would like to be involved in that guidebook policy, so that we can ensure that we follow it because we believe it, and we want to make sure that you follow it as well. So Clint ISD believes that AI should enhance rather than replace human creativity, judgment, and professional expertise. AI should be leveraged to support instructional excellence, streamline workflows, and empower students to become critical thinkers and responsible digital citizens. So here are a little bit of staff guidelines. So always review AI-generated content for accuracy, bias, and appropriateness. That's number one. 2 is input of personally identifiable information, which is known as PII, into AI tools is prohibited. You never put in a student name with their date of birth and their abilities of learning inside, and please show me how to teach this student, and then you give all the data to AI. So never do that. That is strictly prohibited. Use only district-approved AI platforms, which we'll be sharing with you which ones we're going to approve. And again, I want to make sure teachers are involved and instructional coordinators are involved as well to help us come up with the list. Disclose when substantial AI assistance has been used in communications, reports, or instructional materials. A lot of times we want to hide it. We want to say, oh, I did it all by myself. But, you know, in reality, either Gemini helped you, ChatGPT helped you. And then, of course, it's always good. I don't know if I'm sure you use it, but make sure you read it before you send it. Because a lot of times, it's not as smart as you think. If you type up an email or you type up a lesson or you want it to give you something, make sure you vet it before you send it. Any summary reports or communications that use AI assistance must undergo human review. So before you actually send it out or issue it, make sure you read it and maybe have someone else read it just so that you can be sure that it's correct. And then student guidelines. So we're going to be pushing this out to kids with the help of teachers, of course, to use AI as a tool for learning, not for completing their work dishonestly. Respect copyright, privacy, academic integrity, follow teacher guidance, and use only approved tools. Be transparent about how AI tools were used in assignments. Cite your sources and verify output for all work turned into teachers. So this is also very important, data privacy and security. So all AI tools used within Clint ISD must comply with applicable data privacy regulations, including FERPA, COPA, and the Texas Student Data Privacy Agreement. No staff member should upload student data, grades, or sensitive information into AI tools. So just be sure you keep student information out of those AI tools. Of course, it can help you and guide you, but never use actual facts and reports and be uploading things into AI tools. Academic integrity. So AI should support learning. It should not replace critical thinking or originality. Teachers are encouraged to design assignments that allow students to use AI responsibly, such as brainstorming, summarizing, or revising ideas, while still requiring human analysis and reflection. So I know we have a ton of tools out there, like I know CuriePod is one where students, you have a writing prompt, the student types it up, and AI gives them feedback to say, you should do, you know, your response was great, but it's missing a couple of tools here or there. So there's a lot of great tools out there that we use that will be in the approved list for students and staff to use. And then classroom integration and professional development is coming soon. Again, I want to work with our instructional coordinators as well as instructional technology so that we can merge the gaps and really give you all that understanding and approve the certain websites that we will be allowing. And then future-ready roadmap. So Clint ISD will continue to evaluate emerging AI technologies. Just because we set out a list does not mean this is it. We're never going to open the doors again. It's more of us growing and doing pilot programs, getting feedback, and partner with, like right now we have a partnership with Google. And I chose, it was just random, about 20 teachers that are on the list, and they're Google has announced, it's called AI feedback. And so I already sent them a list, and basically what they're doing is getting feedback from actual teachers and using the Google feedback tool. So because we are a Google district, I really want to focus on Google AI tools rather than ChatGPT, rather than other stuff that is not vetted by education. But I encourage you to start using Gemini. Gemini is the AI, like it's similar to ChatGPT, but what I love about Gemini is that it actually creates docs or sheets for you. So when you ask it to help you do something, it'll say, do you want me to generate a sheet? Sure, and it'll do it, and it's in your Drive. So that's all, pretty neat stuff because it works within our Google environment. And that is it for me. Any questions on AI or anything you've used that you want to share? Or you're afraid of AI, or you're on board with AI. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lucero, for sharing, and we're looking forward for all those AI tools that will continue supporting our students' learning. Appreciate that. Next, we have CMP. As I stated earlier, Mr. Villalobos and Mr. Sergio couldn't attend because they're at the campuses for the luncheons, but they did ask me just if I can review just 2 slides with you all. Pretty much is last spring, you were asked to give some feedback throughout a survey, and they, based on your feedback on that survey, they made changes to the menu. So based on that, new items like smoothies, fruit parfaits, flautas, wings, chickens, drumsticks, and taco al pastor were implemented at the campus level. More promotional days like hot chocolate day and end of the week treats. They increased the fresh fruit and veggies options at the campus level. And then of course, they still want to hear from you again, so they asked us if you can scan the QR code again and get some input and some feedback on their meals. So as you complete that QR code, guys, I'm going to go to the next slide. Pretty much is they wanted us to share also that you can go to the district website on their child nutrition department page, go on their menu, and you're able to access the menu for your campus for that week. Okay? That's all we have for you guys today. Do you have any questions of what was covered this morning? No? Team, we're good? Well, once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us, making time and being here. We look forward to You guys join us back in January. I know we have about 2 more days left. Enjoy your Thanksgiving break, and then we'll see you all back in December. You all have a good rest of your day. Thank you, guys.